Today we have an updated guide for getting your portal glyphs very fast in No Man's Sky. On top of that we have a brief coverage of what portals are as well as how to find portals. So for those who already know their stuff, just skip to the meat via the timestamps below. Portals are a structure found on every planet in No Man's Sky. Every planet has one. Portals effectively work as stargates, allowing you to dial an address on the DHD and travel to that point in space. It even works just like in Stargate, in the sense that each address is a coordinate in space. The effective range of any portal is an entire galaxy. However, there are 255 accessible galaxies in No Man's Sky. These galaxies are also referred to as dimensions. The important thing to know is that the portal in the starting galaxy, Euclid, cannot connect to a portal in the 10th galaxy, Isentum. So to get to somewhere in another galaxy, you will first have to get to that galaxy. To use a portal, you will need two things, glyphs and an address. The glyphs are essentially a learned character. Once you learn a glyph, you have it. There are 16 in total, and having learned a glyph allows you to use it to dial an address. Glyphs are always learned in order. For the address, you can either randomly dial an address and check out the planet you end up on, which can be exciting, or obtain an address from elsewhere. Many players who find cool things like ships and multi-tools will share the portal address as well as finer details for once you are through, so that you can also obtain the item. To use portals, you first need to get some glyphs. We'll be using a great method today to get them incredibly quickly, devised by a member of the NMS player base. But to use an incredible method, we first need to obtain glyphs 1 and 2. This will allow us to get to a specific location. To get the first two glyphs, you just need to find two travellers. Travellers are the crazy people of No Man's Sky. They basically start talking about the fabric of reality and the end of the world if you ask them for the time. The easiest place to find these travellers are in space stations. They can also pop up on trading posts, but I find stations much quicker in general. Work through the space stations in your teleporter list. You will likely have several to check, and check each NPC walking around. You are looking for an NPC who looks a little like a hologram, like it's not truly there. They have very different looks to the Viking, Gek or Korvax. When you find one, talk to it, and it will likely give you some dialogue with a response. Pick whatever you feel is right. Then talk to it a second time and choose the option to ask about where it came from. This option will cost you 100 nanites and give you a new waypoint in that system for the location of its grave. Fly to that grave, interact with it and obtain your first glyph. Now do it again and get the second glyph. If you run out of stations in your list, you'll just have to warp to new systems. Travellers are somewhat rare. I found 2 in the 15 systems I had in my new saves list. Now you have your first two glyphs, we need to find a portal. There are 2 main methods for finding portals, using planetary charts or using an exocraft scanner. I won't cover the exocraft method today as most people at this stage in the game won't have it set up almost at all. Just know that you can use an exocraft scanner to scan for monoliths. For planetary charts, you'll first need 3 navigation data. You'll likely have a few from save and charting at waypoints. You can also gather a large amount at once by buying them from trading posts. Not all posts sell them, but I always like to build a base of ones that do so that I can buy 80 or so whenever I need them. With your navigation data, buy 3 of the 4th chart from the cartographer in your nearest standard space station. This is the purple one and its name differs even between UK and US English, so just get the 4th one. Go to the planet you want to find a portal on, get inside the atmosphere and use the maps until it gives you a waypoint to a monolith. If you have an economy scanner installed in your ship, use the quick menu option to search for a trading post, as you'll need a Gek relic, Korvax casing or Viking dagger depending on the dominant race of the system to use with the monolith. The ships that land at a trading post will sell the item relative to the dominant race of the system, so just buy one from one of them. Alternatively, you could use a few more navigation data to trade for commercial maps to find the trading post, but I'd recommend getting the economy scanner. It's a great bit of tech. At the monolith you will get a riddle when interacting with the dais. You'll need to pass the riddle's test, which is usually about not harming or submitting to whatever hallucination it gives you. After the riddle, you can interact with it again to spend the Gek relic, Korvax casing or Viking dagger and get a portal marker. Fly to the portal. The portal's DHD will need charging on the first use, so you'll need something like 64 copper, carbon and cobalt, and 32 sodium to charge it. It is now ready for use, though before you do I would highly recommend putting down a base computer and claiming it. There's no need to build a bunch and upload it, literally just the base computer is enough for this. Call it the galaxy name and portal. I put one here next to a portal in every galaxy I go to, so if I need to check something out I can just teleport to the correct portal base, dial the address and I'm there in minutes. Now you have the first 2 glyphs and a portal at the ready, we can get the remaining 14 glyphs very quickly. Activate the DHD and dial this address on screen now. Once through the portal, go to the nearest base with a teleporter or fly to the space station. At the teleporter, choose the Other Bases option. You're looking for a base called Glyphs System 1. You may have to scroll all the way to the bottom to find it. This base and the next 13 more bases we're going to head to are all made by the same person known as Forever Appropriate 80 on Reddit, and Agrajag in No Man's Sky. This person used 3 separate accounts due to the limitation of 1 base per account per planet allowed for uploading to build 14 bases in a single system, with each one at a Traveller Grave location. Because of this, we can simply teleport from one to the next, interacting with each grave as we go to obtain a glyph, and get all of them done extremely casually in about 15 to 20 minutes. So to recap, head to that system through the portal, find a teleporter, find the base called Glyph System 1 and teleport to it, grab the glyph from the Traveller Grave, use the teleporter there to find the next base called Glyph System 2 and repeat all the way up to Glyph System 14. I've linked the Reddit post Agrajag made for the glyph gathering method in the description. It's by far the fastest I've seen to date and they deserve many kudos for the effort involved. Any questions, please ask away below, other viewers or myself will surely be able to help. Now that you have your glyphs, you can get one of these epic looking multi-tools or ships.